Hello, Sprague Board of Education members. I hope everyone is well. Leslie Bartholomew here, and I'm happy to be guiding you through the first module of our second pre-work. So this time you'll get a chance to learn one of my personal favorite strategic planning tools, the TOWS analysis. What I'll be doing is first explaining a little bit about the TOWS. Second, giving you an example of how to use the TOWS. And then third, you will get a chance to apply it to our SWOT analysis. So all the good work that you created last time is what we're going to pull forward as we kind of course through these next modules. So without further ado, I'm going to put myself behind the scenes and I will bring forth our presentation to introduce you to the TOWS analysis. So welcome to Module 1 formally. Fun fact we're starting out with is that TOWS is SWOT backwards. It's not quite the full explanation of what TOWS is, but what I find is it's helpful to know that TOWS is a variant of the SWOT analysis. It's just providing a different lens through which we can look at strategy for the organization. And what I also really like about it is it creates this opportunity to bring new potential strategies to life that one may not have thought of before. And let me introduce you to the 4 quadrants of the TOWS analysis. We've got it right here. You'll end up, as I said, using the SWOT and the TOWS in partnership. And that's a good word for it because the TOWS analysis, it actually helps us create relationships that we had not seen in the SWOT analysis. And I'll show you what that looks like here. So here we have around the top and left side are actual SWOT analysis categories: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And what the TOWS analysis does is it guides us to look at these in pairs, in specific pairs, and asking very specific questions when we're looking at that pairing. So the first thing that we will do, and you do not have to do this in any particular order, but I like to work this way, is taking strengths and opportunities. What this does is it takes an area of maximization and pairs it with another one. So it's kind of a a win-win strategy here that you're trying to come up with. And what you do is you ask this question and this specific question when you're looking at these 2 categories. What strength that you've listed among all of those from your SWOT analysis can help you leverage an opportunity? You will also do the pairing with weaknesses and opportunity. What weaknesses can be minimized by taking advantage of an opportunity? Over here, we've got strengths with threats. So what strength can help us minimize or avoid a threat? And then the last category here is looking at weaknesses and threats. So what mitigating actions can minimize weakness or avoid a threat altogether? Generally, this is some kind of a mitigation plan that you come up with. So this is minimizing something that can be a threat. This is maximizing something that's already a strength. And these other 2 quadrants here are kind of a max-min solution, maximizing something that you want to minimize. So with that as a background, let me show you an example of how you would apply this tool. I'd like to show you using the specific quadrant of comparing the weaknesses and the opportunities. So we will be asking this question: what weakness can be minimized by taking advantage of an opportunity? Okay, so here we have our SWOT. This is the good work that you've done on our first time together, and we are going to bring forth some amazing things from this work. So as you approach the relationship assessment between the 2 quadrants, I find it very helpful to start with one quadrant and work your way down line by line or topic by topic, and then compare every line of the other one to that single topic. So let me give you an example. So if we take the opportunity of increased funding, so obviously we noted here that if you have some good grant writing, if you are planning, you can have access to certain monies. Then I would take that and apply it to each weakness. Is that a an opportunity that can help minimize this weakness of administrative turnover? In my mind, it might have long-term effects. I'm not so sure that it's a win for a strategy. So I'm going to keep going. Increased funding, can that help minimize the weakness of lack of multi-aged education competency and philosophy? I'm not sure. Funding, I don't feel directly impacts the cultural weakness that we're pointing out here. Just under this line, I see we've got major budget constraints. Okay, so that rings a bell for me. Increased funding matching up with major budget constraints. That would be something to really think about as a strategic piece. So as you can see, there is a process where you are trying to look at each of these in partnership and ask that specific question to the quadrant. Ours is, what weakness can be minimized by taking advantage of an opportunity? So one other way to do this is what I call the art of the TOWS analysis and strategic planning in general, is sometimes things just pop out to you. And one thing that popped out to me was the lack of curriculum. As I heard you speak, I heard that that was a concern. And to me, there were actually a couple of opportunities that could help to mitigate that weakness. So in the opportunities area, I felt the distance learning platform, even though it was COVID driven, may be an area of opportunity to explore. And let me take you through what my mind was thinking when I started pairing these things. So I ended up putting lack of curriculum and as the weakness, and distance learning platforms as the opportunity in my TOWS analysis. And so I start thinking, so what are the curriculum gaps? And of course, you folks will know these things better than I will. Could we apply the distance learning to these gaps in curriculum? And which gaps are best to fill with distance learning? Because I'm sure maybe all are not. Who would be supporting the filling of these gaps? Can this even be done in collaboration with other districts? And what are they doing to fill curriculum gaps? And could this also support 21st century skill building? So as you can see, I not only, and I'm going to go back to our SWOT, looked at the distance learning platform here, but there were other opportunities here that I heard from you. The 21st century skills, down here, collaborating with other districts. Maybe those are things that could somehow fit together. And you don't have to develop it into something that is a strategic plan or even a strategic goal. Just getting it out on the page as an idea is going to be important. The other piece here is that each of you have a unique vantage point in the organization. That's why it's going to be so rich for you to do this individually, for you to turn in your work to me, and then for us to look at all of the ideas and really look at some of the unique ideas that are out there, because they could potentially be some of the best strategic solutions for us. So that is a quick example of the TOWS analysis at work on your SWOT analysis. I encourage you to print off the job aid here, because these questions are really what will bring forth those strategic ideas. And as always, I'm available by phone. My phone number is in our materials so that you can reach out to me if you have any questions. And I look forward to our next time together. So I'm going to bring it back and wish you well as you begin your TOWS analysis, and enjoy that broad thinking. Can't wait to see what you create. So have a wonderful rest of your day and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.